In 1902, the French colonial government in Hanoi had a rat problem. Their solution was simple: pay citizens for every dead rat. Within weeks, rat catchers were severing tails and releasing the animals back into the sewers. The colony paid out, the rats kept breeding. The program created more rats than had ever existed before it started. They had tried to solve a rat problem. They had built a rat farm instead. This is the Cobra effect, and it is running inside almost every system you trust. The term was coined by German economist Horst Siebert in 2001. He named it after a story he borrowed from British colonial India. The story goes like this. The British government in Delhi, alarmed by the city's cobra population, began paying a bounty for every dead snake. Citizens complied. Then they got creative. They bred cobras specifically to kill them and collect the reward. When the government cancelled the program, the breeders released their stock. More cobras in Delhi after the program than before it. The solution had become the problem. The term stuck. Economists use it, policy analysts cite it, business schools teach it. And almost nobody mentions what a 2025 investigation by the Friends of Snakes Society found. There is no historical record that the cobra breeding ever actually happened. No documents, no prosecutions, no contemporary evidence of any kind. The founding story of the Cobra effect may have never occurred. But we will come back to that, because the phenomenon that story describes is real, even if the story itself is not. The Hanoi rats are documented. In 1902, French colonial administrators introduced a bounty of 1 cent per rat, requiring citizens to present a severed tail as proof of the kill. The program was designed to eliminate rodents from the city. What it produced instead was a cottage industry. Rat catchers discovered that a living, tailless rat would keep producing more rats. They severed the tails and released the animals back into the sewers. Some began farming them. The French government paid out thousands of francs. The rat population increased. The program ended quietly, with no formal acknowledgement of what had happened. In the 1860s, the United States Congress agreed to pay Union Pacific Railroad per mile of track laid during the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad. The incentive was designed to accelerate the project. Thomas C. Durant, the head of Union Pacific, responded by deliberately routing sections of the line into unnecessary curves. More miles, more payment. The government funded the detours. The taxpayer paid for a longer railroad than the country needed. In 1973, the United States passed the Endangered Species Act, imposing development restrictions on landowners whose property hosted protected species. The intent was conservation. The documented effect was preemptive destruction. Landowners began draining wetlands and clearing trees before endangered species could be detected. The law, designed to protect wildlife, gave landowners a direct financial incentive to destroy habitat before anyone could find it. In the worst cases, species were allegedly killed to prevent discovery. Medicare in the United States reimburses physicians at a higher rate for administering more expensive medications. The structure creates a documented incentive to prescribe the costlier drug when a cheaper one would achieve the same outcome. In 2015, a physician outside Detroit was sentenced to 45 years in prison for deliberately misdiagnosing patients with cancer they did not have. He administered chemotherapy to healthy people. His billings to health insurance exceeded $17 million. The system rewarded treatment over outcomes. He spent years living at the edge of that structure. In 2025, Amazon introduced an internal leaderboard tracking how heavily its software developers used AI tools. The company's reported goal was that 80% of developers would engage with AI weekly. Employees reported pressure to climb the rankings. Many responded by running trivial, unnecessary tasks through an internal AI agent called Meshclaw, not to accomplish anything, but purely to inflate their consumption scores. The practice spread under its own name: token maxing. The company designed a metric to measure meaningful AI adoption. Its employees found the fastest way to win the metric without doing the meaningful thing. Every one of these examples follows the same structure. A system is designed to measure a goal. The measurement becomes the target. The target gets gamed. The goal disappears. This is sometimes described as Goodhart's law. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. The Cobra effect is what Goodhart's law looks like when it lands. The moment you attach a reward to a proxy for success, you have given someone a reason to chase the proxy without achieving the success. and someone will always find that reason. Now back to the Cobra story. A 2025 investigation traced the claim to its origin and found no contemporary records supporting it. The Friends of Snakes Society found no evidence of cobra breeding operations in British India. No prosecutions, no government records. The earliest traceable source used speculative language. An 1887 inquiry by the Bombay Natural History Society, conducted specifically to address circulating rumors, concluded that breeding cobras in captivity was highly improbable and had never been documented. What actually ended the Madras Bounty Program in 1873 was excessive cost, not fraud. The investigation recommended retiring the term entirely, noting that the story had spent 150 years caricaturing Indians as cunning opportunists exploiting colonial systems. The Cobra story spread because it had the structure of a good story, specific enough to feel real, simple enough to repeat, satisfying enough to share. Nobody paid to verify it. The reward for sharing a compelling idea is attention, and attention does not require the idea to be true, which is its own kind of perverse incentive. The term Cobra effect, coined to describe how rewards produce unintended behavior, spread globally because of a reward structure that favors the viral story over the verified one. The concept that warns against gaming systems was itself gamed by the information economy. It optimized for reach, not accuracy, and it won. The Cobra effect does not require malice. That is what makes it dangerous. The French administrators in Hanoi were not stupid. Thomas Durand was not reckless. The architects of Medicare did not intend to fund fraud. Every system in the script was designed by people who believed they were solving a problem. What each of them missed was identical. The moment you measure something and attach a reward to it, you have introduced a new species of behavior that was not in the design. And that behavior will optimize for the measurement, not the goal. This is not a policy failure. It is not a corporate failure. It is a structural property of incentive design. Wherever there is a metric, there is a gap between the metric and the thing the metric was meant to represent. And wherever there is a gap, someone will find it. The Cobra breeders may never have existed, but the structure that would have created them is everywhere. In every performance review, every policy, every program, every system designed to solve a problem by rewarding a number. The question is never whether the incentive will be gamed. The question is what the game produces when it is.